Ladies and gentlemen, it's another day of the ESL Pro League. We've been jumping into match day 16, and this is when things start to get dicey. The teams are so close, there isn't a single team that is out of the running for the Dallas finals. Admittedly, there is a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes, but every single team still competitive as they battle to get to that huge prize purse waiting in Texas. We're going to be seeing some big games today. We get to see Astralis versus Space Soldiers as they could potentially secure themselves a spot in the Pro League finals this very evening. You could be watching that as it all unfolds before your eyes here at the Pro League broadcast. Stay with us.
Welcome to the Game Flip pre-show.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to the Game Flip pre-show. We're going to be talking all about your favorite gamers and game, and that's, of course, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Jumping into this one, I have a lovely panel of guests, introducing them all the way from the caster's side. First, we have Lauren Pansy-Scott and Henry Greer. They're going to be casting your games today, and we do have Chad Birchall and Jenko Paunovic as well. Why are you all
You
smiling?
didn't see the camera shots.
We're more like residents at this point as opposed to guests.
Residents.
Yeah.
You kind of...
Oh, it's not the... Never mind.
No.
I wasn't even making
Staples.
a meme, so...
Staples here of the Xfinity analyst desk.
Yeah.
You're right, Chad.
Yeah. I'm good.
Wow, nice one. Okay, cool. So, moving into the games today, we're going to bring up your schedule so you can understand exactly what we have to look forward to today. And this is where first I do turn to our special treat, Lauren Pansy-Scott. What game do you reckon that people should be looking out for? What do you reckon? What's the best one?
You know it's the middle ground there. It's on slap bang in the middle, Navi Mouse for me. I think it's actually a big game to have a little look at. You know, everything else looks exciting. There's some fun prospects all over, but for me that stands out.
I can understand that. Henry, do you echo her sentiments?
Absolutely. I think Space Soldiers Astralis is still a good game. I think Astralis are one of the hot contenders to make it to the finals at the moment. Space Soldiers definitely up in there in the conversation as well. They'll be looking to get as many points as they can, and I'm sure they'll put on a very good show today. So Space Soldiers is definitely one of my hot picks.
And actually, if you look at the secondary stream, Chad, there isn't something to be forgotten about. I mean, I can't help but think that given AGO's performance recently, North could be in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the fact of the matter is if North want to make the top 7, this is almost a must-win for them at this point, right? They've had some very up and down results throughout the season, and going against an AGO who's had some huge upsets last week especially, it's no easy win.
Yes, and as we bring up the standings, Jenko, I turn to you. I said there in the opener, every team can do it, but there are some likely candidates.
Yeah, Envy is not going to be at the finals, I can tell you that. But, you know, some surprising packages. You know, NIP very high up. I don't think we really expected that, considering all the roster changes they made, and they weren't really that impressive. To begin with, Space Soldiers, the obvious one, being all the way in first place. Similar to Fnatic last season, right? Made some big changes in their roster and took Pro League by storm. This season, though, you can see them towards the bottom of the table. They really are struggling.
And before we say goodbye to our casters, Henry, looking at that now, while the standings in front of you, are there any big names that you feel like should be higher up there?
I guess FaZe is the one that jumps off the page right now. They're certainly struggling. Obviously, Exist coming into the fray really hasn't helped them out. Such a horrible time for that to happen at this point of the season, right at the book end of it. A couple of weeks to go, and they're not looking their best. So hopefully we can see Exist kind of come into that lineup properly, and they can hopefully pull things together.
Yeah, it is hard to watch them kind of trip and stumble at the final mark, of course, trying to get themselves there. And talking of FaZe, you can see some of their results on screen, but most specifically, it's Space Soldiers. They can qualify today. They could get that ticket to Dallas. Get to look forward to that one. Of course, we have the ifs and buts, though. Space Soldiers have lots of different ways in which they can secure their points, whether or not it's in their control or not. Of course, if they pick up 6 points against Astralis today, it's still not enough. FaZe would have to not only not make a single point against Hellraiser, Space Soldiers could make 5 points against Astralis, and FaZe don't make a single point. So basically, Space need 5.
It's maths. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
one of my
confusing.
strong suits, Alex. It's not something I really passed at school.
No,
You do love to speculate, though, on how many points teams need to make it through.
Yeah, you just say a random number and then you're like, that'll do. Yeah, that feels good.
Let's throw something against the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, before we get any further into this one, Jenko, what's your expectations for FaZe Hellraisers? Because a lot of Space Soldiers' chances of qualifying today revolve around that FaZe game. I mean, do you think Hellraisers could potentially win the 2-0?
Yeah, they just came off of a win at the Nets tournament in Kiev, and they beat North in the final there. So they are probably feeling very confident at the moment. FaZe like a wounded animal, you know, with Exist instead of Olofmeister. Not really had that much time to get anything done with Exist just yet. So I think there's definitely chances for Hellraisers depending on the map. So a 2-0 would be a bit too much, I think. So also for Space Soldiers to get 2 wins. So I think they're going to have to wait a couple of more days at the very least before they clinch that spot at the finals.
And of course, while we're talking about the highs of the Pro League, it's time to talk about the lows. If you do fall into those bottom 2, you're up for a rather serious debate. Bottom 3, actually, isn't it?
Bottom 3. If you come last, you get automatically relegated down to the Mountain Dew League. If you come 12th and 13th, you have to fight off in relegation.
Yes, and we do have information for you. We can actually go ahead and break it down that the relegation dates are set, so you now know where to go ahead and pencil in your diary to see some of your favourite teams from the MDL battle our way up, and some of your favourites from the Pro League that couldn't quite keep up with the rest, battling out. Now, the dates are set. It will be over in the ESL studios in Leicester. You can go ahead and book it in for May 9th and 10th. That's when you're going to be seeing those guys duke it out. On land.
The second one on land. So that's the best. You know, having relegation where these teams are going to be fighting off on the most even playing field possible is a good way to decide who moves up and who moves down, I think, Alex.
Yes, absolutely. So the way this works is the MDL first place automatically go to Pro League, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So the same was the Pro League bottom. So those are automatically swapping out, but then it will be the, let me get this right, I've actually written down. It'll be the 12th and 13th EU teams and the 10th and 11th from North America, playing against the top second and third.
Yeah, I've actually got it on the iPad here. We can bring it up and we can actually see where Mountain Dew League is at the moment. So if I just scroll down so you guys get a little bit easier vision.
Okay.
Windigo, the top 8 teams first and foremost. So we can, from Singularity to Windigo, right? These guys, these top 8 play off in a bracket. They've already played off in this bracket. It's a single in best of 3. Now, the teams that come first and second in the online portion of this bracket has been Windigo and Big. Now, they go to the dates in Leicester, and they're going to play off for the final. Now, whoever wins out of those 2 teams will be the first place team from Mountain Dew League, and they will go into Pro League. Now, the loser of that game, of Windigo and
has
Big,
the opportunity to play through the rest.
Exactly, and the other team who will be there with them is Spirit. So the 3 teams who can potentially move up into Pro League next season is Windigo, Big, and Spirit. Lovely.
Interesting. I'm actually flabbergasted that Windigo have made such an impact. It's not been a team that's been on my radar for long. I know you've spoken about them before, Yenko.
Yeah, the Bulgarians, you know, they've been around for a while. We had them before in the Headshot BG line. I can't remember their names really, but they've, you know, caught some waves in 2014, for example, at some LAN tournaments, beating some of the big dogs in even best of 3 series. So you have some of the players there. That's the core of the team. So it's going to be interesting if they can make it into Pro League. Would by far be their biggest feat as a lineup. But VP missing the chance yet again. They lost to Windigo, I think,
they have
first,
lost to Windigo,
and then they lost to Spirit in the 3rd place decider, because if they won that, then they would have gotten the chance to play relegation.
Just something else to note quickly. Big have a chance. They were in last season, out this season, could be back in next season.
Gambit not even in the top 8.
That is crazy to me.
They didn't make the top 8, no.
No, they weren't there.
No. Not looking pretty.
What's so crazy is, sure, Gambit, Virtus Pro, both teams that have won a major in the MDL can't even get to the Pro League. But Big, the fact that they seem to be in limbo now, where they're not good enough for the Pro League, but they're better than everyone else in the MDL, that's an interesting one.
Did you see the player that left? Was it Lucca? I think his name was. And the thing that he wrote about, you know, not being fun and players yelling at him and stuff, that was a...
It doesn't really sound like the family atmosphere they, you know, pictured basically with the forming of that roster.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's just
Trouble
a lot
in Paradise, maybe, Alex.
From what I read, his statement, his tweet longer, it was just like, yeah, I lost, as soon as it became serious and a job, Counter-Strike lost all of its appeal.
So I think people were just flaming him, you know, like, you suck, like, weren't really supportive, and they were more, you know, just like, come on, man.
Well,
and then they found someone else, like, yeah, see ya.
Do you know what doesn't suck? And that's, of course, taking a look at top 5 plays. There are so many plays in Counter-Strike in the Pro League alone that we get to go ahead and cast on a daily basis. But let's go ahead and look at the top 5 from last week. There's only 20 seconds left. He's just going to wait. 1, 2, oh my goodness gracious me, Tarek!
Just Stewie, the new guy within SK. 1v3 does drop Stanley. Now Seb and Visa left to find. They have a crossfire set up. The bomb's down and out in the open. Time now working against Stewie. Going to look away, but he's actually been... Okay, Stewie, that is absolutely unreal. He gets it done. Stewie is a monster.
Not aware. Flamey punishes him. Small mistake, but the defense still at mid. Drake gonna take one, needs to follow up, needs to build up against the second.
Where's
He's gonna go for another, and that's a third kill. And still Flamey, you're exactly right. He hasn't peeked from pit, or else he just doesn't have the angle.
Oh, it's all done. Pack it up. We're going home. Dragon says no. Looking for the ace now. Of course he'll go for it. Gets it.
Pushing in though, Golden with his CZ is going to... Oh, I hate life. That's 3. Golden, he's going to get 4.
Tarek Rush combining for 1 each, and he's actually getting 2 Grim right there. Had to switch out to a Glock now. Getting another one, and a 4th one from Grim, and a 5th one from Grim as well. Absolutely amazing play right there, Harold. How are you going to stop that?
Pimp there on the mic for your number 1. That was an experience in itself. We do have Space Soldiers versus Astralis now for us to delve into, at least briefly, with these two of my chums. Now, first question actually Lauren asked us, she walked in the door before the cameras started rolling, was, you know, do Astralis look good? Do Astralis are they going to be running over this as perhaps you'd think about on paper, say 6 months ago?
They're definitely looking revitalized, right? But to run over Space Soldiers is no easy feat at the moment. They're one of the most consistent rosters. I think they're the longest standing roster in Counter-Strike now that Vega made some changes. So these guys are a force to be reckoned with, and especially in the Pro League, they've got at the top of the tables. Now, if you flick on over to ECS, you can see that's where Astralis are doing the damage, right? They were on a crazy streak. They were undefeated. Was it 12-0 or something along those lines?
They already secured a spot at the finals.
Which is nuts, right? So they're playing a really good brand of Counter-Strike at the moment, and I put that down to the fact that they've come in and they've realized the fact that maybe we got too rigid with Kyobi in the team. And now we're back to the double D combo firing in all cylinders. It looks like a lot of the matches, Dupree and Device are doing that hard carry role. They're being a nice combo as they used to be, and this is back to the Astralis that we know and love. Now, sure, like always, when a new player comes in, we get these honeymoon periods. How long can we hold on to this? But maybe this is how Counter-Strike is going to work for the future of the game. We get these cycles where we see teams come in for 3 months, and then they do good, and then they need to make a roster change to get back to the top. But Astralis at the moment are looking fantastic.
Truly. I mean, Yanko, I'm sure that a lot of those things you would most definitely agree with and be echoing, but I would like to kind of change the pace to Space Soldiers themselves, because not only have they been consistent, but they've been taking some big scalps as well. It's not like they're consistently getting close. These guys are converting now.
Yeah, I think ever since the start of 2018, they've been improving, right? It started with the global challenge, MDL losing to AGO in that final. Then they had a great run at the major, you know, beating some great teams and losing some close games. You know, they were relatively close of making it into the top 8. And then Pro League started, some good results there, right? So for Space Soldiers, they've been having a steady upwards trajectory recently, and I question their ability in Pro League because of ping, solely because of that. I think they're a really good team. I think they would definitely have been in contention, and they've shown so with their results here being at the top of the scoreboard. So some obvious stars within the team, Xantarex, Paz, and Calix. Major still, you know, learning a little bit as an in-game leader, but he has that leader figure, right? A very he has authority within the team. He seems like a calm guy, and he seems like a very hardworking guy, which is all that you want in an in-game leader. And last but not least, you have Engine, who is the support player of the team and really just tries to enable the stars as much as he can.
If I can run with that Engine thread going into this match on Mirage, the fact of the matter is they have their 2 weakest players on the CT side holding the B bomb site, Madger and Engine, that duo over there towards CAD and B Apartments. They have the trio, the star trio that you'd point towards for this team of Paz, Xantares, and Calix over towards A. Calix is like the A anchor, Xantares is the link player, and then Paz plays window, right? He's obviously moving around, very functional. So if Astralis obviously have done their homework, that's a part of the map that you can bully. But they do like to pull out that secondary AWP, you know, they get that up in the B halls, and they can be aggressive there. The thing is, I think that's where the weakness is at the moment for Space Soldiers on their CT side of this map. But we saw them play Fnatic last week, I think it was, and that game, it started pretty strong for them, and then Fnatic kind of got the gas going, got it all going, and they won 16-11, I believe it was.
Fnatic, Space Soldiers, Mirage, it's a bit of a touchy subject for those guys. Back to back, they've had their leads taken away from them, one offline, one online. And interestingly enough, something I do want to just touch on before we jump into game, Yanko, is they've never played. These two rosters have never met each other before, and I just want to know, do you think that plays into it, the fact that, you know, normally you've played like 6 or 7 times in the last couple of months, you know what to expect?
I think that's quite impressive considering how many games we have in CS and everything, but I think it plays a part more so in, you know, some individual situations rather than on a team aspect, because both teams are going to do their research. Even so, Majors say that, you know, it's very tough to anti-strat Astralis, he was watching their demos, and they're like really solid as a unit. But it comes down to maybe clutch situations. You know, once you played Zipix 10 times, you know that he's more of a passive player in those situations. He's not going to take some wild aim battles. And then you come into this game against Space Soldiers, and you're not 100% sure, you know, what's Xantares like, what's Calyx like, you know, in some of those same scenarios.
Yeah, and you did have a real little stat nugget for me before, Chad. You said Xantares had taken the top spot, at least last week.
It may have traded back now. I was just trying to navigate there
that's what
to
you were
see.
looking for?
Yeah, I was just trying to bring up the stats to just quickly double check. But yeah, him and Calyx are towards the top of the stats with Simple, right? Those three players are absolutely tearing the servers up and looking very fantastic.
It's just ridiculous that Xantares has 106 ADR so far in Pro League. That's his average ADR
in the league.
In Pro League, in the league. So that, I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, you see the highest rated player on Astralis, Dupree, and Astralis is doing good for themselves. They have like almost 90, 80. Even Simple, I don't think has.
That is baffling, isn't it? That is very, very baffling. Like this, so just to kind of, I guess this is not to be silly here, but I'm just going to quickly summarize. 100 ADR. Which means that, of course, on all those pistol rounds, on those ecos, everything accumulative, you're averaging like the amount of damage of 1 kill per round.
Which is all you need to do in Counter-Strike, right? It's a 5v5 game. If everybody gets 1 kill each,
if everyone had 100 ADR,
it's pretty easy like that, right? But I've just double-checked the stats. Simple has moved back to the top. Xantares is in second, and Calyx is still in third. And all three of these players have played 18 maps.
Oh,
so they're all on even pegging, right? So this is for these guys to be at this point, some of the most maps played out of all the teams in the Pro League thus far. It's fantastically consistent.
Yes. Now, just to quickly remind you of just how important this one is for Space Soldiers, if they do want to go to Pro League, bearing in mind this would be one of the biggest feats for the roster. Admittedly, like Janko said, getting very close to top 8 at the Major is currently the biggest feather in their cap, but getting to Dallas after just arriving in the Pro League would be a huge achievement, especially if they're the first team to do it. They need 6 points here in order to secure it, and then they're just going to be crossing their fingers watching that phase matchup. So a 3-0, this is hard. A 2-0 in the series, 6 points in total, 3 for each series.
We need to touch on one other thing. It's a very big night for Space Soldiers this evening. They also, well, it's a very big couple of days, sorry. They play off against Heroic, I think it's tomorrow, for a spot in Sydney.
Good grief, they've got a busy week.
Yeah, they can get a spot in Dallas and they can get a spot in Sydney all within 1 week.
And then next week they're playing Marseille.
And they got there?
DreamHack Masters.
Because they qualified
for that, yeah.
God damn, they're having a good
2018. Imagine if they just win everything and they're the first team to win the Intel Grand Slam.
That would be a story. No, but it is kind of indicative of Counter-Strike at the moment that the team that's had the roster for the longest is now just going to start gaining momentum. Everyone else is changing rosters and having, you know, chaos amongst the ranks. They've stuck together. They've got better every single year, every single season. Now they've qualified for 3 offline events potentially at the end of the week.
This sounds like a feel-good movie.
It does. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you can direct. Janko can do the script.
Are you acting again?
I was thinking about
it.
Were,
yeah.
I think I can be Xantares.
I'll be the star. I'll be Xantares. I'll get 100 ADR.
You had the nose for it.
Henry can be my Calyx.
Henry's the Calyx?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Of course, joining us at the casting desk. We'll be talking to in a moment. Just breaking the fourth wall there, Chad.
Well, they didn't know
there.
he was there.
They don't know.
Yeah, no, I was just saying Henry could be.
Oh, I see. It was the
He
eye
also
contact
might not be in the studio.
No,
because no one can see him at home. It's Schrodinger's cat.
We don't know.
He was already here 2 minutes ago in the other segment.
So due to the players just being slightly late to the server, I have one question
Qualify
for you.
them all, Alex.
Schrodinger's cat, Chad.
Did I say it wrong?
No, I just want to know, can you explain the theory for me?
Well, it's a cat in a box. Is it alive or is it dead? We don't know. It's in the box.
But I mean, over time, surely you'd know that the cat was dead if it hadn't been receiving food.
Look, there's more to this theory, Alex. But if the cat is in the box and it's alive, when you put it in the box, is it alive or is it dead? Well, it's both. We don't know because it's in the box.
But you know that after 3 days it would have be
yeah,
dead.
but we're not talking about over 3 days. We're talking about when we put it in the box.
Initially. There's nothing to kill it in the box. You know it's going to be alive.
I think there is something to kill it in the box, isn't there?
But I'm saying Schrodinger didn't know what he was talking about.
Now we're talking about death of cats.
Yeah,
Can we move away from cat death?
Sure. Let's continue with the Counter-Strike.
Yeah, do the video game with the shooting in the heads and all that fun stuff. The Molotovs.
Okay, well, let's get back onto that, because Mirage is our first map. Now, Space Soldiers have looked good on this. Admittedly, you've already outlined some faults in their CT side, but they've looked good on it to the point where they're pushing Fnatic to the very brink every single time, and it's one of their more successful maps. Janko, do they take it, though? I need a win condition for the Space Soldiers to get to Dallas today.
I think for Space Soldiers still, playing against a team like Astralis, they're not as regimented and as methodical as Astralis is. So for them, it has to be their stars really delivering, right? Because Antares and Calyx are in the top 3 in Pro League in terms of rating, in terms of statistics. So they have to have a good game. And in some of those unfavorable situations, where it's 30-40% chance, they need to really deliver and get Space Soldiers over the hump.
Absolutely. Chad, the same kind of sentiment from you, just that we have to see all of the players from Space Soldiers delivering?
Yeah, I think it's probably more pressure on Astralis, if anything, because I think this Astralis team is obviously newer with the addition of Magic's Boy, and Mirage wasn't a map that they were ever hugely successful on. It was a map that they played, but nothing that was like the top of their wheelhouse. It wasn't like a top 3 map for them, right? So coming in against the Space Soldiers, who I think have quite a few explosive players who can turn up and do a lot of damage and are towards the top of the stats in Pro League, all the signs are showing to me that Space Soldiers are looking like a stronger team recently.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to be finding out how strong of a team they can be, because we're going to introduce you casters now. Only just arrived. Who wasn't talking to before, just ran in the studio. Henry G and Lauren Pansy Scott. All right, then, ladies and gents. It seems like the desk are completely split. They just don't know where to put their money on.
I think Space Soldiers, honestly, I think they're going to do this. I think they're all from the 2-0 right here, right now. I feel like Mirage is a great start for them as well. Yeah, I feel like this is a really, really strong map for them. I'm really super convinced by Astralis. I think they're getting better with Magic's Boy coming in, but Space Soldiers are an absolute tear, especially online right now. They seem to do their best work. People were saying when they first came to Pro League, pings could be an issue for them, but overall, it actually looks perfectly fine.
Yeah, and the tweet earlier from Major being a big thing, saying that he still finds that, watching demos on Astralis is one of the hardest things to actually, get into, but they've been doing their homework. Essentially kind of giving that little nod out there saying, all right, guys, we know what you like to do. We'll keep that in mind. And I know Astralis do exactly the same thing. Both teams do like to study opponents. Obviously, 2 very different styles to it, and I'm wondering who really comes out the better at this point. However, Space Soldiers is the one being very vocal about the fact they have a plan, and really, I guess at the moment, it is Astralis who has everything to lose, in theory, right? But in the Pro League so far, it does look like Space Soldiers is certainly up there. But anyway, into the round we go. It is the first round, of course, and the T side not exactly in a hurry here.
Well, it is a very slow round so far. You're right. The bomb all the way in spawn. Calyx and Major ready and waiting. Zipex is in a tricky spot. dupreeh towards up the middle. Like I said, Zipex going to struggle there. Major will take him down a device with the CZ to try and hold them off now. He's got no armor, invested heavily in the upgraded pistol. You don't really see that too often on the CT side. Obviously, the USP, so much one-tap potential, but good for shutting down B rushes. That's not going to be happening, though. But dupreeh, the reaction comes in. He has managed to sneak his way towards the top and middle, and he can hear a lot of footsteps moving around the map. So he might not find a ton of kills here, but the information is worth its weight in gold.
It looks like Space Soldiers wanted to exploit maybe rotations coming off the back of A, but this has completely unraveled those plans. As you can see, 3 players now from Astralis set up pretty comfortably towards the A site. Smoke's coming in, Device in such an integral spot. He can be an absolute game changer, and that's that CZ put to great deals of work. Already can take down Paz, but there is still 4 players alive here for Space Soldiers. Sadly, one of them is over by B, so not exactly going to be at the forefront in this one. Now the 3 remaining players from Astralis, Magisk, Glaive, and now actually just dupreeh and Magisk have to do the work, but dupreeh's position is perfect. He can deny the plant, takes his time. Follow-up shot is good, takes down Engine, and now time is the factor. 3 seconds remain, no plant to be had. dupreeh needs to stay alive, and they just about get it done.
Well, there you have it. It will be Space Soldiers pick up the round. Wasn't the cleanest finish, but they absolutely got the round against them. Oh my goodness, Astralis will be using that CZ perfectly. His device, like I said, it was not usually a weapon you see too often come out in a CT pistol around there, but he managed to make it work very nicely indeed. Stolen the round away is Astralis. It will be now MP9s, UMPs purchased by them. There will be a force spike coming from Space Soldiers, hoping to try and shut them down. There's the smoke towards the window, but it has been thrown, a little bit off. It's going to be Paz to take the first bit of damage there.
Yeah, CZ reigning supreme, as we now know to be the case. Not too surprising.
Yeah, the Tech 9's dead now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just completely gone.
So's the UMP, apparently, but no, I actually really like the way Astralis play window as well. If you watch Device, he's the one who kind of does a lot of the Molotovs to stop the smoke coming in perfectly, and he body blocks it as well. He just, the small things, he's really good at making them add up. However, small things aside, there is still a big problem. They're missing out on a player so far. Glaive going down early does open up opportunity for Space Soldiers, but they need more than that. They do have utility and a lot to work with. Major tries to take a glimpse at Device even, and he just doesn't get that done.
Nice shot. Device for the UMP, getting it done from the window. Calyx been tagged down to 5 as well. So that opening pick has certainly been made redundant at this point. Space Soldiers will try and do their best to get back into the rounds. Untitled has managed to pick up the UMP. Is it enough? Think Device hasn't quite spotted him, but we'll check the corner all the same. Untitled goes down, looking like a guaranteed round for Astralis at this point. Space Soldiers don't really have much territory on the map under their name. Nice little one-way smoke thrown towards the connector. Device buys them another 15 seconds or so, and now such a perfect time to do it. 30 seconds on the clock. Really going to run things down very low. They notice there's an fake coming in now. The CTs. There'll be flashbangs, smokes deployed, and Paz still not committing. So the engine to go in first with a Molotov. Desperate at this point. They're going to need some sensational 1-digs to even stand a chance. That's if Device gets nothing from this, which is very unlikely. He can't really be juked out, but he can be outpositioned. Lovely move there by Paz. And it will be a 3 versus 2, but they still need to plant that bomb.
Certainly do. 10 seconds as well. Clock is certainly ticking, but the plant does begin. Matches with a horrible bit of work, but it gets the job done. It's not pretty, it's not the best, it's cheap labor, if anything, at this point. And Paz tries to make something count at the end of it, but yeah.
He gets no money for that one, just
he died
a note.
after time?
Yep. So that is a real disappointing finish. That's smart. Major Boy Monroe had the cleanest first kill there, but he stopped the bomb going down. He kept the last guy alive, and that's everything in CSGO. If you can keep the terrorist alive after the round timer, especially in a round where they force bought, he goes into this one with nothing. He just gets the $500 from the one kill he got, and then the save 200 from the previous round, so he'll be buying nothing this time. And he'll only get $2,400 into the next round, so he's still going to be struggling with a Galil and maybe armor and one smoke. That'll be about it. As we get into round number 3 here, the full eco round. Nothing really to report here. There'll just be some frags for Astralis, who will farm the most cash. Is pretty much the end of the game. Zipex kick things off, take down Calyx. 3-0, looking pretty safe at this point.
Yeah, no threats to be seen yet. Space Soldiers trying to throw a few curveballs to begin with. Free gets a little bit overly curious and gets outdone by a Glock. So just remember that one. Always feels horrible, and that's a lot of money that you're not going to be making. But there are plenty of other players still up and willing to take up the mantle where he left off. But Space Soldiers aren't in a rush. If they can punish anyone else, that's brilliant. They've got a whole minute to play with. They can be as patient as they like. And we'll be seeing who's next in line. Zipnik still holds firm.
There we go. There will be one kill available at least. Engine will do that, and they'll find an MP9. Not the most tantalizing pickup. But we'll give it a go still. If they can just get one more kill out of this, even a bomb plant would be amazing. Zipex lies in wait. He'll spot a couple now, throw the smoke. Looking to shut them down. Device with a nice meaty grenade. That's going to do a ton of damage. And it will be Zipex to presumably spray them down at this point. Shouldn't be anything going against them from the positions I can see right now. And there we have it. Clean sweep. Just one player went down, Dupree. But it was fine. It was a bonus round regardless. So they're happy to give up one player there just to get another rifle up, essentially.
A meaty grenade.
Very meaty.
I'm just trying to really, get the visceral experience of that sort of wording, and it's very unpleasant. Match has been paused. Not sure if it's tactical. Very early for a tactical pause, but all right, 3-0 down. Not sure what to be discussed at this point, but then again, you're going into the gun round in a few. Kind of want to make sure everything's going well in the device there. Nice work from him. No plants available, of course, and there was still Zipnex anyway. So if it did all go wrong, there was going to be support in place. However, Astralis will have quite the upper hand at this point. They've been doing quite nicely. Money's building well. I think they might have a couple of SMGs still there that I see in place. They might be trying to get the most they can out of this one. But Space Soldiers, they don't have the worst buy. Obviously, the UMP with Paz you highlighted, that will echo through this game, or at least for the first little bit of time after that. A little bit of an incident he had earlier.
Yeah, it's still a viable weapon. Obviously, not as powerful as the AK, but they'll just have to play smarter. You'll have to change things up and try and just go for that one kill, maybe get an upgrade as Device waits patiently from the connector. Remember, no one on the Space Soldiers team is really a dedicated AWPer. Paz will do it, but he's hardly the superstar level that Device is operating on. So whether he turns up will be a very important factor here. Device could be a huge thorn in their side. It's the first gun round here. Very slow. Once again, bomb down in T-spawn. Good little grenade towards Paz there. Doesn't do as much damage as I'd hoped. As he'll just take it on the head and take 11 damage there. Device still ready and waiting, trying to change his attention between the palace area and indeed the connector. As he looks towards A ramp now, Calyx is on the other side. And like I thought, he would be taken down eventually. Xantares will pluck him out of position. See, the Device couldn't really work out where he wanted to be there. It's being exposed from about 3 different angles, trying to be aggressive, but taken down. 45 seconds now with Paz. Looks to upgrade, and he waits in the connector.
Oh, Magisk. What a tantalizing prospect that was. He does get hold of the orb, gets away, but by this point you can see Space Soldiers are starting to build up. Hit comes in through connector, that's Paz, but there's the reply. Astralis not going down without a fight, but the problem is that mid control and Xantares still so powerful in this. He started things off so well, and it looks like he might be the one to end it. 11 HP, doesn't want to get it all going for himself just yet. Plenty of others can pick that up, but he will actually get the final kill as well, so great round from him.
Good stuff. Xantares absolutely finds the opening kill and indeed the last one. AK-47 doing work in the palace area. Device caught in the open. Couldn't really decide where he wanted to point his attention. Didn't have the utility to shut one of his angles off. Took a bit of a gamble and got taken down. That was the catalyst for Space Soldiers picking up the round. Still money available, but not a ton of it. You can see Astralis got 2 pistol players there, Glaive and Dupree, down to just the CZs, an A execution, an A split indeed coming in quite quickly here. 2 grenades and Space Soldiers. Falling back towards A. They're showing a bit of presence towards middle as the bomb makes his way to join the pack here at the A bomb site. Smokes in towards steps, jungle, CT spawn. Flashes to follow, presumably. There's always a slight gap by those steps. Need to be quite careful of that. Molotov in just to buy them a bit more time. And this could be all a ruse.
They're doing the triple pump here. Is it the double fake?
Well,
back
at this
in
point, they
Palace?
could just smoke deep in the connector and towards CT spawn. That would be enough. We'll see whether they use these last 2 smokes. Engine trying to suggest they're going towards B here. Here's a smoke, quite a unique one as well, thrown towards short. Trying to pull one of those rotations off, but you can see the bomb still ready and waiting in the A side. It's actually worked very well. It's only Glaive there in the A side with the CZ, so they've taken the bait, hook, line, and sinker here, buying so much time. And Glaive is in a lot of trouble. It looks like a round's almost guaranteed for Space Soldiers at this point. The fake has worked tremendously well. And they'll even get an opening pick on this side of the map.
That's the thing, is when you start having success on the site, that you're almost kind of just putting yourself into die. But it's go time now for the A players. But do they check? Glaive waits. This is the Goblin box, and it strikes. Glaive finds one. The follow-up would have been exceptional. But Xantares still stands tall, and that is paramount to the success of this round for Space Soldiers. But 28 seconds, bomb to be planted. 2 players on this side, and you can see Major's boxed in. Magisk got around there. This is not over yet. It was a great plan, a great theory from Space Soldiers. They now need to make this count. But the problem is Xantares, only 4 HP. He has to try and find a way to be relevant in this round still. So easy to be picked up, but Dupree the first to really test the waters, and maybe a little hap-handed there. No one there with him, but Calix shows him how it's done. That's 2 big kills, and surely a round in the bag, unless Device... I don't know. I know he's incredibly talented, but this is going to be incredibly tricky. First man at peak, Xantares, and he does it all. 2 kills for him as well, and what a great play to save things.
That's really well played.
Wow.
Calix especially. That's the tag team duo going to town right there. Calix, you can see him being aggressive. Knows he has to find these kills. His teammate's low. He steps up, then Xantares with the audacity to face Device when he had 4 HP. Nails the headshot. And like I said, they're just getting warmed up at this point. Space Soldiers looking sharp now. Full eco for Astralis. Nothing purchased into this round whatsoever. Default pistols across the board. No grenades, no armor, of course. And Dupree trying to push the envelope towards middle as he gets halfway up. Doesn't fully commit. But should be no chance of Astralis winning this. Like 1 or 2 kills will be considered a success, really. As they almost certainly tie things up. Space Soldiers do find the first pick. Zipex to go down. And Xantares to hunt any potential players on the other side of this mid wall. Dupree still waiting there. Trying to be baited in, but does just jump up and offer himself up on a plate there. Lucky to be alive.
So if he's going to get away with it again. Ooh, he's being tested here. This could be nice. Device does find Xantares, but I don't know if they're going to get that AK. They're going to try it. You can see Paz now put to task, but he deals with it very well. 2 kills there. Going to deny any recovery of that rifle. And Magisk gets gifted a kill on the plate. Calix there being a little bit hap-handed. Didn't expect him, but there's the final. Space Soldiers do lose out on 2. If Engine can recover that rifle, that'd be absolutely brilliant, but it doesn't in the end. It's fine, though. Not ideal, but it's fine. But still, I'm liking the way Space Soldiers are approaching this. I think you got to give credit where it's due in the fact that they're forcing these uncomfortable rotations. They've been trying to do that consistently. They might have even done it earlier. This could have been a very different scoreline if Dupree didn't hear those steps when they're pulling back from B, back around towards A. I'm liking what they're doing. Maybe this is some of the homework they've been trying to put in and try and punish those rotations that Astralis like to do, but I'm not sure if it's going to keep working. We'll see if they can adapt back. Maybe have a I don't know, another bite of the cherry. Glaive, though, going to go straight towards middle, sprays in wildly, and actually Paz found a device in the meantime, so Glaive gets put down to 2 HP. If anything, Space Soldiers look far greater from this.
Yeah, absolutely. A 5-on-4 is amazing. Even a 4-on-4 is beneficial to Tees, especially with Glaive low as well. Paz tagged up, sure, but still alive and kicking. This is looking very, very good. You can see the reaction plays coming in now from the CTs. As soon as someone goes down, the CTs have to hunt. They have to try and get something back in their favor. Zantares could offer it up, which he certainly does. Dupree, well, hit the nice shot there. Doesn't really take anything at all for it. Does eventually, but that Mac 10 starts to do work, and Zipex is stuck in such a horrible position. He right-clicks the flash through. Hopefully going to find something here. Did spot one towards the window. Could actually deny the plant here. He will. Will he be traded out? That's the big question here. He might even get a second. Amazing work from Zipex here. Another dink comes in. That could be the round in itself. 2 versus 2. 50 seconds remaining. Paz is barrel spotted by Mages. He'll be taken down, and I think Zipex might have made such a heroic play here. Major, he is decent, but he's not the star of this team. Gets one. Mages low on the bomb side, waiting. Major will spot him, takes him down, and all will be forgiven. Zipex did absolutely everything there, Lauren, but it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, just the Shadow Fiend crawling around there. That looks so
Crazy.
good. It was very well played from him, but again, it didn't do it all. And Space Soldiers keep kind of going forward. Again, though, if you look at how that round panned out until that play, it all looked extraordinarily good from them. I think this is what you were discussing at the start of it, and it certainly echoes your sentiment. These guys are very good on Mirage. It's a bit of a go-to for them, a bit of a specialist on this by now. And Astralis are being put through their paces. You know, reputation aside at the moment, it does seem as though Space Soldiers are very much bringing an exceptional game. But Glaive, hit and run, just gets engine down, backs away, he's done. That's great damage to be achieved.
Surgical precision there with the CZ. I don't really ever see it work that well at that sort of range. That's crazy, especially in a player's fading away. Very good stuff, but a lot of work to do here. Remember, they've got no armor or grenade. Sure, they've got the upgraded pistols, but overall, still, huge advantage towards Space Soldiers here. We'll see whether the Glaive can get anything more done. He'll be very happy with that first kill. Obviously, didn't pick up a rifle from it. Has to just fall back. Still with 100 HP. Here comes Calyx and Zantares, that horrible duo gunning for blood here. As Glaive faces towards the connector again. Takes a headshot through the corner of the wall, down to 39 HP. Still with the advantage, but Calyx looking to steal that away. I think he's almost certainly got that kill. He does indeed, and the Mac 10, incredibly mobile. Choose players without any armor, and then you can see it all starts to fall apart. As predicted, we Device now left alone. B site completely open. Calyx can stop the rotations as well. He might be dropped into the Deagle. Mages does have a bit of a deadly one. We'll see though, this angle looks a little bit too strong for Calyx. Takes one more shot, but there it is. 4 versus 1. Round secured.
Job done. This is looking lovely for Space Soldiers, considering obviously the first 3 rounds were the pistol and the follow-ups off the back. And there it is. Space Soldiers really starting to string things together once they got into the swing of things. So this is lovely to watch. I'm thoroughly impressed thus far. This is good Counter-Strike. And in what seems like a very turbulent time for teams, it's good to see some, you know, nice approaches on the T side, well constructed and well thought out. And Major having a game here already. He's having a nice little bit of a swing up. And as you said, not exactly meant to be the superstar, but always fun when you get to see a player having one of those good peaks.
He definitely has the skill ceiling to be a superstar. Like, it's there. The talent's there, but it's just too inconsistent, unfortunately. Like, he sometimes has very, very quiet games.
Got the double up back out. Dupree picking that one up again.
Ooh,
It's been building in. It has been building. We've seen it every now and then.
It was like a year ago. It was like starting to come in, but then Dupree took over full-time AWPing, then it disappeared, and then after the major, we didn't see any double AWP. So nice to see it come out once more. We'll see whether Dupree can start hitting some shots, but they will be tested towards the A side here. Remember that gap in the smoke. Glaive can try and use it, but the execute looks perfect so far.
And look at this read. If you're Space Soldiers, the classic double up, you go and hit a site. But the problem is, apparently, Astralis don't need smokes. Well, I guess they can see enough through it anyway. Glaive did certainly get a bit of a glimpse, at least on one, but the spray on the second was perfect. It's given a huge advantage, but you need this man to stay up like he did before, or someone else to do so. The trades are good, but they're not good enough. Instead of just Paz alive in a 1v3. Bombs planted for him, but they still have smokes, they still have flashes. He is in a world of trouble, pre-aiming towards stairs, hoping he can maybe get a quick kill on that, but they're not on the bomb just yet. They do have kits, they do have Molotovs. The odds are certainly stacked, and the defuse begins. The smoke comes in, and Zipnix is well trained in this sort of matter. He's known for being one of the players to clutch those ridiculous 1v3, so does keep check of that.
Yeah, nice work there. Good retaking to see Glaive and co getting it done through the smokes. The execution was looking very good up until that point. Even with the double AWP setup, you're absolutely right. Execute like that is absolutely perfect for it, but shut down quickly. The rifles doing their work. 3 versus 1 to finish things off. Money though, Still pretty all in from Astralis. Whoever loses this round might be on an eco here, depending on whether the bomb gets planted. It will be the execute off the bat this time. All 5 players committing. Only 1 player, and I assume it's Antares, indeed it is, towards the palace. May just to be ready and waiting for him. And this will just be a very classic execute. No fakes, no tomfoolery here. It'll be quite regimented. 2 players towards palace now. Device, remember he did struggle with this sort of position before. We'll see if he can hold them off. Now 3 go to this position, and smokes are thrown, and Space Soldiers will commit.
Last time it was the mid pressure that kept Device kind of in between in no man's land, and Xantares punished that from Palace. But Magic's this time allowed to get a little bit looser with it, a little bit freer to play towards the ramp, and he does very well, finding Calyx, spotting the bomb. The call gets made, and look at that Molotov, look at the damage coming in, the nade coming through, the spam as they try and work their way out through from Palace's Glaive is being very dominant right now. The follow-up's excellent. Xantares gets punished, not allowed to be kind of let off the chain this time, try and chew through the CT side. 4 players still stand for Astralis. The bomb kind of cowers away at this point. They don't want to just put it all in, but unleashing Paz, hoping he can maybe create some space to open up an avenue, but so far just merely getting tagged down at 27. It looks like Astralis have stemmed the bleeding for now, as you can see them trying to crunch back in here.
Very positive situation for Astralis. I don't think that bomb will even be planted here. Glaive trying to push towards the Tetris box. Paz will go down, and it looks like the round is over. Major suddenly capable of these sort of rounds, but not even going to get the chance here. 3 players survive once again for Astralis, and like I said, no bomb being planted might force an eco out of the Space Soldiers. 1 player did have 8k, the rest of them hover around the $3,000 mark. So they would have forced, it's possible to get 1 orb. Galil sees Eds. As you can see, it's Major with the $8,000, the in-game leader as well. Will he make the call to go all in? I don't think so. Just dropping Deagles there for his teammates. The Merchant, as he sells on his wares. And there will be just Deagles and no armor here. So everyone is trying to save their cash.
Yeah, good flashes coming from the A side to allow this sort of play to come out as well. Pushing Glaive up towards the top of the middle. Let's get 1. Bit dangerous. Still can get taken down. He knows that. He's already got 2 though, and he's got support in the form of Dupree coming in from short. So no real threats to be seen. They actually do get dealt with. Magisk clearly unhappy with that, but he does get the kill on the board. So Astralis with a good bit of recovery now. It did feel as though it was spiraling away from them for quite some time. And they've just about stayed afloat. The money became a little bit of a factor at some point, but again, they've managed to stave off the wolves. But we're back into it, and Major is kind of trying out the AWP, it seems.
Well, we'll see whether he can make it happen. Like I said, no one's really a dedicated AWPer in this squad. So if Major's feeling it, it feels like he's spotted a weakness. He's often on the other side of the map to his teammates, like most in-game leaders will be, trying to get information, trying to get calls, trying to make these fakes happen. It will be Zipexo changing the pace towards the underpass straight away, takes down Engine. And he'll be falling back pretty much unscathed there. 74 HP, sure, but he's got that opening kill. He's got an AK-47 now, and he'll be dropping his utility towards the Palace just to make sure they can reposition correctly. Xantares falls back, and the Palace looks like a B attack potentially coming in eventually. 1 minute 20 on the clock, and that AWP not really doing much at all. Back to the single AWP setup for Astralis, just a note. Dupree didn't find a kill with it. It doesn't necessarily suggest he'll give up completely, but for now, let's be rolling with their more comfortable stance, which is the single open device, and then AK, ideally in the hand of Dupree.
Absolutely. Device. This could be a fun one. Actually backs away from this flash up. He was pretty much solo for a while. I think Ximnix has already pushed up towards short, so again, you want to buy a little bit of time, which he did. Fall back, play the site, find a new angle. Zipic's gonna just the underhand throw. Doesn't quite get as much damage as you think, but it's CSGO nades, so I mean, it's probably just about right. Barely tickling them, and Major looking for those chances through the window. Flash comes in towards short, but it's still going to be Zipnix to find Major. I'm not sure if that was through the smoke. I can imagine it was, just spraying in and hoping for that one. Device dedicated to that angle, and as soon as we switch away, he gets the kill. Xantares does go down, and sadly this hit does seem a little bit flaccid altogether. Doesn't quite get going at all, as Paz and Calyx are going to be left just kind of in no man's land, unless they can get something very good here. They need 2 quick kills, some big opportunity to build, and that will do just that, actually. That's, alright, now it's getting a little bit spicier. Calyx is digging them out of the situation. Glaive could be a real thorn in the side, but he can't find the shot through the smoke, so again, he gets taken. Oh my word, Paz found Dupree. What is going on here? It's only on Magisk. What a disaster of a round. Was this a 2v4 by that point? 2v3? This is not what you want to be remembering going forward. Maybe Magisk can make things right, but that's the first, but he needs the follow-up. The Danger Man still exists, and it's Calyx finding 2 integral kills, creating this chance. Magisk now knows where he is, and he gets the job done. But my God, that would have been a round you'd have had that horrible talk afterwards about.
Well, crisis averted. No chat needed. It was quite exciting. Calix, you're right. There's not really much you can do. It's not like Astralis did something horribly wrong there. Calix just hit some unbelievable shots, you know. Sometimes that does happen. That's the nature of the beast of CSGO, and that's why we love it so much, Lauren. Whatever the situation, and if you're good enough, you can win them. So that's what's cool about it. So well played to Calix, not quite enough, and very well played to Mages to hold his nerve and not give that round up. 7-5. Bomb planted, lost bonus time to accumulate those, so Space Soldiers still can purchase into this round. Remember, Major had all that cash before, dropping on those deagles. Now just down to the UMP, as Glaive will be challenging towards middle. There is a buy, of course, available for Space Soldiers. They do free. Looking to take a gun out of their hands here. Paz will take that nade on the head, and actually be joined by Mages, who takes on Zantares. Paz 11 HP, so another great advantage here. But some damage inflicted to the CT defenses. You can see Dupree 48, Mages 41. So this is okay. Mages wants to go a bit further with this, getting that intel. It's working out tremendously well. Could actually find another kill here, considering he's got the UMP. Works out for another. Now he can fall back. No more intel required at this point. You've got a 5 versus 3, and you're low. Just keep everyone alive.
It's quite fun watching Magus as he does become a little bit tamer. He's, the beast has been quietened at times. Engine does find Dupree in window though, so that does mean the middle's a little bit of an enigma now. They don't really know exactly what's happening, where players could be, and that quickens the pace from Space Soldiers. Apply the pressure towards B, but here's the problem. Xiplix, what a great play from him as well, knowing that he's kind of solo here, slightly isolated. Why not make the play? Push forward. If you can get one traded out, he slows down the hit. That's perfectly fine, and that's excellent. Finding the bomb, and even possibly getting the follow-up. No, Engine stays alive on 27, but there quickly Device gets into the matter, so 3 alive.
Calculated risk there from Xiplix. He could have fallen back, but he knows the time's running low. He's got backup on the B side. He's already found one. If he at least just do damage, get the intel, and just find out how to close the round down, that's absolutely fine. Still had a chance to get that kill, so that wasn't a silly move or anything. That's just him trying to close things out, but obviously fading a little bit at the end, but still, they win the round, and money's still very, very tight on the Space Soldier side. They will force buy it. You can see Galils, UMPs, AKs, like, I'm not really sure what they're hoping to achieve here. Even if they somehow win the round, it's not going to force Astralis down to an eco. So just a mishmash buy, not really required. Thing is, though, if they get the bomb down with the maximum loss bonus, they can still buy next round. So as long as they get the bomb down, they're okay. But it's hardly ideal. I'll say that, as Dupree pushes towards middle. This has been where the game's changed, Lauren. As soon as they started pushing towards underpass, pushing middle, finding his opening picks, that's when Space Soldiers went very flat. So this recipe seems to be working quite nicely. Another BXQ coming in here. You'll see the smokes deployed. They haven't got a ton of them, though. Good incendiary by Dupree. Even better grenade. That's going to do a ton of damage. The nukes have been dropped, and Zipex will spray them down. 5 on 3. Paz is low as well. They haven't even gone to the B side. Just completely stifled by the utility there. And this is looking very easy now for Astralis. They'll get one consolation factor this one. They still need to commit. Dupree sprays them down. Great utility usage, and a bit of a desperate play there from Space Soldiers.
Yeah, desperation certainly becoming a factor here. Scoreline starting to spiral away from them. But hopefully they can maybe find a little something on that CT side, as that is starting to loom. But for now, it does seem as they have the right approach, and we saw that early on. And at the moment, 5 rounds still. Again, you've got to kind of keep in mind that Astralis did win that pistol, and they did, get that 3-round buffer on their side. But beyond that, it's been quite a close matchup. But as you highlighted, the adaptation, the furtherment coming in from Astralis, showing that they do have that depth still, and a bit of an issue of the smoke in middle could pose problematic.
That's perfect for Device. Believe it or not, there's actually some teams that throw that smoke on purpose, like the dummy towards the window, just to allow them to think, wow, the AWP's going to be baited out now, let's flash him, then peek him. That's actually like next level strategy if that happens, but I don't think that was the case. That might have even been a CT smoke to allow them to fall back from the underpass. Didn't quite catch it at the start, but there's definitely some fun ideas you can have. As Glaive pushes towards middle, looking for a bit of fun himself, and maybe getting a bit too aggro there. They'll be going towards short now. It's like the Magus trying to shoot them down. He'll do some damage, but takes a lot in return. They're going towards B, but Zipex always so strong in these positions. He needs to find multiple frags here. Yeah,
Dupree's positioning. I don't know how he's allowed to get away with this. They kind of put all in. They went in all on this one. It looks like this time the plan was kind of noted, or maybe considered, as they did kind of face that together. Now, he only gets 1, but again, information now gets a little bit scattered. They don't know exactly what they're doing, but that play, I don't know how Device got away with that, how he's alive with his life still, but he is, and now you can see Xiplix coming in from short. The bomb will be going down towards A, but this could be a problem. Xiplix does find 1. Major goes down, but there's still 2 alive, so Paz and Zantares still stands. Zantares goes back in for the plant towards short, just assuming the player's not going to be there, and that's a correct assumption. Device now in the 1v2. M4 to hand, but 2 players to get past. Lingering through the smoke, trying to find that pixel out of place to try and get the play beginning. The spray simply does not come through for him. Paz there to deny it, and obviously there was the player still ready to jump in behind him, but not bad thus far from either side.
No, it's actually looking pretty good. Remember, Space Soldiers on the T side, which is slightly less favored than CTs. They had a really good spell of rounds, like 4 or 5 in a row. As soon as Astralis started to get aggressive, though, that's when things started to fall apart somewhat. Some great clutches coming in, though, as well. Exciting game. Mages, after pulling back that 2 versus 5, came down to the 1v1 in the end. That was a fantastic round. And still, yeah, anyone's game. Dupree looking sharp there on the B side. Lots of adaptation from Astralis across the board. As Mages at the very top with 14 kills. Frags pretty equally distributed, especially on Astralis. Engine, he is considered one of the weaker players on Space Soldiers. That's why a lot of people will say, like, why is Voxic not in this lineup? But then you have a full-time AWPer replace one of the weaker names within the squad. I think that would be like a dream team at that point if Voxic came into Space Soldiers. Yeah, Paz and Calix there at the top, Major, 13 kills. Zuntara is a quieter game for him by his standards. Normally at the very top, he's like kind of not quite on simple levels, you know, but he's like that sort of player that carries in every single game, it seems.
Yeah, Calix in one of those games where it's like, I swear I'm doing damage, I'm just not getting the kills, who's stealing them all. But yeah, as I said, looking forward to what we can see on the other side. If Space Soldiers have been doing their homework, I'm wondering how much they've read into Astralis and vice versa. I don't know if Astralis would be putting time in to look on the other side, although I do know that Astralis do a lot of the kind of, or at least players do a lot of the kind of theory crafting of like reactions, right? When this team is in this situation, they then do this, right? Sure. It's just kind of, rather than sitting there and scouring through demos, they have that kind of reactionary mentality. But on the T side, it will be Astralis this time. Now, we did see Space Soldiers getting very close to winning that first couple of rounds, but Astralis did take it off them with that great bit of information that got passed through. But this time it's different here. Astralis putting Magic Skin towards B, but that's not where the bomb's going. This is going through underpass. This is a very intricate, kind of strange way of doing things.
Well, still equal for now. Paz will get one back. Thinks that Major Skin Astralis. No real clear path as to where they're going. Looks like a B split eventually, but they still have a player at the A ramp. So I don't think we'll see any commitments just yet. Glaive looks towards middle for any CTs trying to grab that intel. Santaras could be the player to try and give it towards him. Problem is with the Glock, not going to be an instant execution there. Santaras goes down to 70 and does indeed fall back. Device takes some damage, and Zipex with the USP stolen away from Major makes his way towards the A ramp, and Calix waiting in the sandwich position. Very safe position on the pistol. It's very unlikely that the terrorists will have a Molotov to take you down. They might even get that close at this point. Engine doing a great job there to take down Zipex. Dupree with the P250. But it looks like a Space Soldiers round, I have to say. Glaive, if he hits that, maybe they've got a chance. But overall, I don't think they're going to check Calix's position. And he'll just hit wonderful shots here with the silenced USP. Looking good for a third as well, but not required. 4 players survive, and Astralis give it the pistol.
Calix, his aim today is pretty damn good.
It's looking nice.
He's on point today.
That's what I said. I think it's a really good position to have in the pistol. You're not going to be flushed out easily. They can't just spray you in the corner as well. They have to really commit, and you've got the silent USP, you've got the instant execution, they've got Glocks. So yeah, really good play from him. As we get into the second round here, there will be a force buy of sorts from Astralis. It's Glaive that doesn't go all in. Device does, interestingly enough. So we'll see if we can get the bomb down here. They've got no grenades, and that's always a bit of an issue. Glaive, he's not going to get the armor. I'd prefer him to get the utility, but Zipex will find one, but it might be in vain at this point. Paz and Zantara is going to town towards mid.
Yeah, now they knew there was another ramp because they killed Magic, but it was Zipnix who got the kill. So again, it's that, okay, there's another by ramp, and we'll see if those two can make anything happen. But it's Dupree trying to creep up towards Connector, but waiting in the wings would be Paz. Just off to the right here, Dupree. A little late on that one. It's Paz to succeed. 4 players alive for Space Soldiers, keeping this together. It looked a little bit dangerous at the start. It looked like you could have seen something happening, but now it's just Device, and no real step anywhere. Bombs down towards short, unless it dropped towards middle. I don't think it has. So again, anything here would be lovely. That's not bad. Does have armor. Oof, I think maybe the CZ's reaching its limits. 2 HP.
We found it. Scientists have been baffled for years, but we finally have a conclusion. That is the range where the CZ is useless. There we go. 3 versus 1. Device will have 2 HP, and just a dream at this point. If he gets 1 kill, he'll be happy with that. Remember, he's all in, so his money not going to be a great spot to get that all pound the first gun round. Not a huge deal with Device. He suddenly is a hybrid player. He was mainly a rifle before he became the superstar AWPer way back when. As we get into round number 18 here, full eco for the Danes, and Space Soldiers back in the driving seat in terms of the momentum and finances. Engine will stick on the CZ, and looks like Calix will join him as well. So 2 pistols here. They know up against Glocks. No point to risk giving up a rifle. Let's guarantee this round and then see what the next one has to offer. Going to be a little B rush here by the looks of things. A rush. 3 players waiting in the apartments. Trying to see if they could spot an utility there, make some footsteps towards B. Like, even if you can't find kills in these rounds, just making sure you delay as long as possible, make the CTs use all their grenades. It might sound really boring, and it is, but that's something, right? That's still like a couple of grand you took out of each player's hands if you can do that.
And they're doing pretty well. There's still Molotovs, still smokes, a couple of bits and pieces here. Sadly, not going to get the better of Xantares. They can all run in all they want, but he is more than happy just to take them all down. So good work from him not to get overwhelmed or outnumbered in the end. He somehow holds his own. 9-9 though, so again, it does seem as though we're back all even. This is what it's been building to, though, is this first big gun round. Now, reinvestments come out from both sides, of course. Astralis having to go a lot more in than Space Soldiers here. They're still sitting relatively pretty, and Xantares is feeling pretty spicy, as is Calyx. They're sending two of their heavy hitters straight up middle. This is a deadly duo, and it looks to be living up to that reputation until then. Dupree just puts a stop to things straight up. He's like, I'm tired of this. I'm done with you guys just having your way with us. I'm going to finally, get into the matter.
Well, they are having their way with him, and we'll see what happens.
What are you laughing about, Henry?
I'm nothing.
I'm nothing. Come on, Henry. You got some value.
It's 4 versus 3, Lauren, as we get back into the action. I'm excited. It's going to be Major ready and waiting. He's in a horrible spot, though. The M4, maybe not so much. I didn't think he'd be able to get that kill so quickly and cleanly. He certainly proves me wrong. And there will be 1 minute left on the clock. A little bit of smoke there towards the kitchen. They'll go for the default plan. Dupree to get it down. And Paz pretty much is the last chance here for the Space Soldiers in this particular round. But Zipex, as ever, great position. Instant kill. No doubt in his mind he's not going to hit that one. And we'll be in a 3 versus 1. Engine can't really go for this one, I'm afraid. So Space Soldiers did win the 3-0 in the first few rounds, but very clean stuff from Dupree to get them back in this one. Finishing up the B side, good positions, and you can see 15 kills for Zipex there. Money still strong, though, for Space Soldiers, with 6k on Xantares and Paz, and who was that? Also at 5k. Major, there we go. So Engine to save a weapon, so they'll be absolutely fine. That's if he survives. If he doesn't, there'll be some compromise. If he saves the M4, they'll be okay for a full buy.
Bet you 20p survives.
20p?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen a 20p coin in years. Money's disappearing. Like, it's gone out of fashion now. It's all about contactless cards. I haven't carried currency in a long time. Especially
all right,
coins.
Henry, Jesus.
What do you mean?
I don't carry coins.
Do you carry coins? Do you have a coin
Absolutely.
purse?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I carry that with you.
In my purse.
Like, it's just
Couple
like
of quid.
the thing is with coins now, because you have contactless card payments. There's no point having the coins.
I live in Germany. They barely have
That's
cards,
true, actually.
Henry.
You do actually need them. That's
We
one
need
thing.
help.
When I lived there for like 12 weeks or something, that was one of the biggest thorns on my side. Every single day is, I know we don't take card here. It's like,
No.
you're a supermarket. You've got to take card. That's insane.
You've got to take card.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get back to that horrific topic of the bane of my life, because Calyx is under severe threat right now, and Zipnik sprays him wildly. He does get him down in the end, but this has been a very all-in, comprehensive hit towards A, and it works out extraordinarily well for Astralis. All 5 alive, still with so much utility left. It was kind of one of those dry surprise hits, almost barely investing anything, and they do make it count.
The dry surprise. Well, it will all fall apart.
Why are you like this?
I'm not like anything.
We're having a nice
I'm
time.
repeating what you're saying.
There's a tone in your voice.
Is
It's
there?
like when you say, like,
It's
who carries coins? It's that tone.
It's just the way you said it, Henry.
It's not the first time you've heard that, is
no,
it?
it's definitely not. Here we go then. Major to try and save the AWP. I'm sure that will be a real possibility. He'll be known with that smoke going down as to where he is. He's going to hit that shot almost certainly. He does. Takes David under 60, and that'll actually be working against him. Now they can just isolate him. Maybe he won't survive here. He's going to sit with a flashbang. It's going to be really close as to whether he makes it or not. Oh my goodness, he's done it. He'll keep the AWP with the smoke bomb. A real ninja there, and he will be surviving. 11-9. Astralis with a clean lead now, and it should be another eco, but AWPers can dictate the pace of it. If someone like Oscar right now be saying he can actually win this round, maybe Major can do it as well. The idea is you want to go aggressive at the very start. Maybe someone like the Palace towards the A bomb site, then you move back towards B, trying to funnel where they're heading. He'll go towards the connector right now, and he'll look for Dupree, but not going to happen. What a shot that was. Takes him down before he even gets a look around the corner. Nice pre-fire. They're going towards the B side here as well. Device to lead the charge. Looking to spray them down his glaive towards short. He'll get the first kill, and indeed the second. Nice work by him. Xantares got 1, but that threat was quickly neutralized. 4 versus 2. Engine with the USP. I don't think he'll be getting much done here. Does some damage to glaive.
Good ding.
Yeah, good dink, but ultimately Calyx has had to save the AWP now.
God, Dupree must have had a spawn to be able to get there that quickly. I mean, That's quite nice.
That's why he had the AWP, I guess.
Had
He must
to-
like,
had
he'd
to
be
have
thrown
done.
it, but
Yeah,
Device said,
yeah.
I've got that 6-1 towards
go
connector.
for it.
Great read. As soon as they get up, they take down the AWP. They're like, well,
That's
they
the
all
one threat there, it's
it's not Embiid, so let's just rush B at that point.
Yep.
I don't mind that. That's okay.
Nah, go for it. But yeah, this is now starting to become a bit of a problem scoreline wise. You know, it's when you start breaking into like that 12, 30, and it starts to look a lot more like, you know, Astralis are very much on the verge of doing something here to kind of nullify what we saw beginning from Space Soldiers. It'd be a bit of a shame because Space Soldiers look great. Initially, we've seen some very, very interesting plays from them, but we've got to hope that keeps up throughout this. Do we know what the second map is? I actually don't remember. I've got a memory of a sieve right now.
I wasn't here for that part of the show. I like to
Oh.
keep it a surprise, so when I see it,
Okay, okay.
it's
I won't-
exciting.
I won't look it
I
up.
would say, knowing Pro League and the way the veto normally
Inferno?
works, it's Inferno or Cash pretty much every single time.
I'm down for a bit
Like,
of
very
Inferno.
rarely we see Nuke come in.
Cobble's not happening with these.
No, Cobble. Yeah, that's true. Actually, Astralis.
Astralis.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
All right, Calyx.
having a game, isn't he? All right. I'll be keeping this AWP then.
Yeah. All right, mate. Just keep it. Like we don't even want it that much anyway. It's fine.
They'll still have plenty of cash, but that does frustrate you knowing they've managed to save that AWP with 3 players going down. 12-9. Astralis coming in towards touching distance now. There will be 4 M4s, of course. Now, saved out of P. Amazing work by Calyx to even bring it into this round. He'll keep Astralis modest. It won't be swallowing out of control, you know. So, we'll get into the next round. On the 22, Paz wanted to peek towards middle, like we said. He is the author of this squad. Molotov to disallow that peek. He will wait for that to go down and then presumably check it out, but he knows it could be Device on the other side. Bravely checks it. Device actually in the apartment, already taken 1 kill down. What a scalp to take as well. A second comes in as Dupree makes his mark on the A-bomb side. 5 versus 3 though, make it 4. Dupree did get dropped. Device does spot Calyx, but has to fall back. The angle's not looking good, and neither is the round. Magus goes down with nothing. Zipex, same story, and now the advantage swings towards the Space Soldiers.
Device is up for the fight, though. I don't know if you want to be. Calyx has been kind of on point. Yeah, Device going to back off from this. Not really going to work in his favor with the AWP at that sort of point, and especially with the bomb where it is. He can be the player to pick it up and take it towards B if Glaive can maybe make that happen. No, he can't. Major stops him in his tracks towards short, and now it's Device, an AWP, a bomb, and a bit of a prayer. He's got 52 seconds, so there's time for this. But I mean, it's a lot to play with and a lot to do. I mean, we'll see what Device can do here. This guy, incredibly talented in all aspects. No 2 ways to put it. All 3 players are relatively divided. Major was on short, so he knows that much. Now, Engine gets the spot. That's big information found. Now they know roughly where he was or where he's going, but Device not going to be lazy about this. Goes right back in. Oh, this could be big. Who sees who first? So Smoke and Engine. Just here's the jumps, here's the steps, and that's enough of the fun and games.
There we have it. It will be quite the round for Space Soldiers after losing the initial pick as well. Well played by them. Definitely got a competitive map on our hands here. Double digits in round number 23 for both teams. And we'll see whether Paz can continue the win streak here. They do need to avoid the reset, though. Still, with all the utility purchase, they're going to be struggling for cash here. Whoever wins this round will be sending their opposition towards an eco, and Astralis look poised to go for the XQ here. Zipex will lead the charge by the looks of things. Smokes to be deployed any second, and they'll be going all in. No fakes here. No messing around. They want to try and get in there as a team. There'll be an AK waiting towards CD Spawn. That's going to be Calyx. You know how good he's been. Paz strong as well. Wallbang stays ahead of Zipex. The flashbang is really nice from Calyx. He'll get a double spray down. Looks like that's the round guaranteed as well. 4 versus 2. But the double D combo will be trying to do everything they can as they fight valiantly towards the jungle. Dupree takes 1. Molotov's towards the jungle as well. Could have got the second there, but a little bit too flash. Smoke not ideal, but will give enough cover to get that bomb planted.
Question is, do they even... it looks like Dupree's considering there could be someone here, and it looks almost possible. If Device could have stayed alive a little bit longer, I don't know if that was even a possibility. That could have maybe been something, but Dupree trying to find a position where he won't be spotted instantly or be expected. And there's nowhere safe. That's the problem.
Yeah,
so
Palace is coming.
Like, there's literally no safe positions right now. So he knows one's on stairs. He's working this out as he goes, but it's going to be Major who's going to be the surprise factor, and there it is. Major just unpredictable, hard to kind of wrap your head around. There was no real safe position for him to go to.
Well, there we go. The execution shut down by that beautiful flashbang thrown by
Whoever put
Calyx.
that? Was that him?
I think so, yeah. It seemed like he bounced
Damn.
off the back wall and then just completely set himself up for the double spray down. He could have even got 3 out of that one. It's the
all
spoil
4
for
were fully
choice.
white, yeah.
Absolutely. So there you go. After losing the first pick again. So well played, Space Soldiers, keeping themselves in the game, and that's going to be Astralis, I think, for the first time this half being on eco. They'll be taking a tactical timeout as well, and Space Soldiers look ready to tie things up. Still anyone's game here. Remember, if you're just joining us in Pro League, Space Soldiers actually in the #1 spot in their inaugural season in the Pro League. Never been seen here before, these kind of players. I think about a year ago, you'd say, yeah, maybe they can win a map or two against some top teams, but overall they're a pretty streaky package. But now they're becoming real contenders in Europe, you know? They're actually making it to finals of tournaments. They've got to the grand finals of WESG. They've made it to the final 16 at the major, and they're looking good to get to Dallas as well. So definitely a team that's turned things around by sticking with a core 5 lineup.
Streaky package.
Yeah.
I've missed your way of words, Henry.
I know.
You know, there's something magical about it.
I'm here all week. So,
thank the Lord, so am I.
Yeah.
All right, but as you said, money's now been depleted for Astralis, and it is good to see new teams breaking into this. It did feel a little stale for a while with CSGO. There was that time in where things were a little bit, you know, boring. And now we get some spicy new teams, we get spicy new plays. And a deagle from Device, like Alex, and the rest should be dealt with and quelled. Dupree does manage to get away towards B. Engine's already on the case, but won't be much fun to be had. 4 players standing for Space Soldiers, a very clean round, all said and done. And kind of solidifying the money situation, keeping them building in the right direction. Paz is a nice buffer at this point. Engine's not far off either. And Astralis is going to be able to put their funds together to get a purchase in here, but at the moment we're 12-12. This is looking far more competitive than I expected, if I'm honest. I thought, you know, what we saw then was Astralis, you know, coming back in, looking a lot stronger, starting to really build through. And Space Soldiers lacking their response, but no, they have found their reply, and it looks damn good at the moment. But for now, Paz again tendering towards middle, but no success to be found. It looks a lot quicker here from Astralis.
Absolutely. Not going to be a set piece off the bat. Just a faster default, and Paz with the opportunity to get on Glaive, but we made this to strike first here. They're going to be splitting towards B. They need to be very careful with that connector, and maybe even the apartments himself. Engine replies with a nice shot with the AK-47. Takes down Magisk. Nade is looking pretty decent as well. Won't do too much damage towards Zipex as it lands behind him. Dupree trying to shut down any sort of rotations here. He'll be holding towards middle. But look at Glaive making his way back towards A. They might not be committing towards B here. Glaive going to try and walk in towards the A side, see if he can find any sort of information. They haven't really got much to work with at all now. They lose all the control they had on the B side of the map. Paz will be poised towards middle, looking towards the underpass for now, as the bomb will be making its way all the way through T-spawn. They've got no grenades here, Lauren. They just have to walk in and hope for the best here. You can see what Glaive is going for. He's made his way towards Tetris, undetected for now at least. But how do they finish this one off? How do they get a plant down with no real kills and no utility to segregate the CTs from the bomb site?
Oh, there's a world in which I could be so frustrated for Calix that when he walks away, if someone just holding that angle as he comes back, just because he wanted to check on the back of window in case someone came through. But it seems they've kind of worked this out a fair amount now, especially with those shots coming in from ramp. Calix now drops out the nade. 28 seconds. Paz still able to get away with a little bit here. Eyeing up towards Palace for now, but they are all by ramp 1 towards connector. Calix now plays out from CT, gets one down. That's Dupree gone. 3 now remain for Astralis. Again, still no smoke, still no flashes. It's still just taking 1v1 fights at this point, and they get absolutely sod all done. It's a lockdown from Space Soldiers, who get another step in the right direction for themselves. Again, furthering themselves with the money. That's now stable. It's looking very good beside them. For Astralis, they're in a predicament.
We chatted about this before the game, though. Astralis are grinders. You know, they won't let this one be as easy as it looks right now for Space Soldiers. Sure, they're homing in on the victory, got another eco here. Even if it's 14-12, though, you know Astralis aren't going to let it be that easy for them. They'll take one more eco at this point, maybe a bit of a partial buy of the loss bonus starting to swell now, as Astralis will indeed take the tactical timeout. 13-12. Remember, 9-6.5 in favour of Astralis. So they haven't really got too much done here in the second half. Still anyone's game. But this one should be Astralis picking up some Deagle, CZs, maybe some body armor, a few grenades, try and get that bomb down. Always a chance to win the rounds, depends how lucky you get with the aggression from the CTs at the very start. We'll see, though, whether this pause leads to anything for the Danes here. Certainly found their match here today. Space Soldiers at the very top of Pro League for a reason. They're a great unit, very skilled lineup, and they've been together quite a while now, and you can see how time pays off.
Not the streaky package they once were.
Exactly. To quote yourself there.
I wish I could come up with phrases like that, Henry. I wish.
Well, for now, like I said, CZs, Deagles, and some armor, no utility really apart from that HE. So going to be another very difficult round. Hoping they can catch some CTs out, pushing towards middle, but quite a disciplined approach here from Space Soldiers. Major does damage with the grenade towards Magisk. Smokes himself out, and we'll go for a spray, presumably in a few seconds, see if anything's possible for him. Here's the flashbang, and he'll just be holding up, waiting for the commitment from the T's.
Yeah, Space Soldiers don't seem particularly flustered yet either. They're very much still holding the line. Xantares wants a bit of it, but that's a problem. Paz going down now creates that one window of opportunity you didn't want to happen. A opening up. Now, the bomb's not even anywhere nearby, but you can see the pressure mounting from Astralis. They want to try and press the issue while it's hot, but Space Soldiers still have this man standing. Calyx, who's up for the fight, and he's up to the challenge, and he gets the kill as well. Device goes down through Palace. And now we're down to 3. Glaive, Xyp9x, and Magic's bomb has been recovered, but Jungle's got 2 players connected on this. Oh my god, they peek out at exactly the right times, and Xantares tears them limb from limb, and we're down to just Magisk in the 1v4. Unlikely is an understatement, and the round does go Space Soldiers' way. Only 1 kill came through. As threatening as that round seemed, again, it's controlled by Space Soldiers.
Absolutely, 14-12. This is the dangerous scoreline, though, and this is where Astralis normally thrive. We'll see whether they can keep themselves in the game.
This.
I think they can do it. I think
you reckon this is OT?
This is OT. I'm calling that right now. This is where Astralis will get they'll win this round, lose the next one, then have to force buy to find match point, and then it will then Space Soldiers steal the last round away. We'll see. That's a lovely bit of work from Xantares there through the smoke. It seemed like he was so certain as to where the T was, but his certainty will be met by Dupree as he'll take him down the connector. Nice duel there. 4 versus 4, like we said earlier. Does favour the T's technically on a map like Mirage. He will be tagged up, but Major even more so. Headshot from Magisk will find a nice kill towards B, and that's the site open, at least for now. Engine will rotate in completely blind, and Device takes him down. That should be the round at this point, but Calyx still fighting back. Xyp9x low. They'll probably go for the retake here. They've got plenty of money to do so. If they can even just keep it down to just 1 player surviving for the Danes, then that would be enough, but it's looking like an Astralis round at this point.
Oh, Calyx is chomping at the bit. He's done well as well. Good damage towards Device there. I wonder if they can find any more. It looks like they just want to try and get those guns away as late as they can. That's fine. I don't blame them for this. But you could see how quick Device was up short then. He was not messing around. There was no second guessing in that aspect. So Calyx looking to patrol his way through, try and claim some of these guns away. Magisk could be the potential victim of this. Certainly is. Xyp9x next on the chopping board, possibly.
Yeah, like I said, every kill he gets is so valuable. Even if he dies, it's worth the risk. If you can just get 2 of these players down, that'd be great. Xyp9x is going to be struggling to stay alive there in that corner.
The bomb, yeah.
So there you go. So that's great work by Calyx. He survives, takes 2 more down, and you can see that puts him in a lot of reset potential now. If they kept 3 players alive there, they'd probably be okay. Now the reinvestment has to come through. Lose this round, that could be it. Space Soldiers know it as well. So 21 kills for Xantares, Paz 21 as well, Calyx 25. Everyone fragging very well. And here's a few compromises. Even after winning the round, Glaive is just onto a pistol here. So they know they're in a lot of trouble if they do not win this round. That could be it. GG will be called, I think. But Engine towards the underpass. He does fall back. They did seem to recognize his presence as they'll go towards B once again. 4 players. Not necessarily committed. They can fall back at this point, but they have no intel as to what's going on towards A. They need to fall back right now. They're going to do so as they head towards B. They have got a few smokes and flashbangs, but this round is everything. Remember, I can't stress that enough. Lose this, and that could be the game.
Engine, Major, the first really 2 players here. The flashes are very good from Astralis. You can see the smoke locking players out, but here comes Xantares. But where are the T's going? They are not here. They're backing the hell off, and they have no real step towards A. They have no idea if anyone's there or not. This is a very curious round, Henry.
I think they just got completely locked out by that incendiary. They're like, well, we can't just run through that. It's going to do about 300 damage to us, as we're flashed as well. So we have to fall back and just sacrifice the grenades. And hopefully that's caused enough of a rotation that we can find something in response. For Paz, he will go down. Okay, though. This is actually working out quite nicely for Astralis now. Majors for a nice opening kill. Engine towards short, though. Majors will be dueling him once again. It's Calyx to find yet another kill as Device goes aggressively towards CT spawn. It works out for him. Xantares though there, and he looks to deny the bomb plant. Might not get anything,
good.
but he finds both. 2-on-2, still anyone's round. Dupree, 30 seconds remaining, needs to recover that bomb as the incendiary goes down. Not quite deep enough, I'm afraid. And now Majors watches towards connectors, looking good for Astralis, but this kill is huge, and it will be narrowly missed there by Major. This kill, absolutely perfect from Dupree. 2 versus 1. Major doesn't look like he'll be able to win this.
No, Dupree's had enough. Getting 2 kills, and I don't know how he stayed alive. There was a second he could have died from jungle, and then from CT. As I almost dropped my phone in excitement. Yeah. But 14-14, pause comes out. Henry, have you called this?
I did call it. I did tell you. Especially if Astralis win that round. I feel like it's overtime central right now. But either way, it will be a tactical timeout. And we'll have a look at the money for the space. It looks absolutely fine. I think they've got a nice full buy.
Plenty of cash built up.
Yeah, so will be the Space Soldiers to call the timeout. 14-14, we are going to see all the rounds No way out of it this time, and we'll see whether the bonus rounds come in with overtime. It does kind of work. It's a double-edged sword, so overtime does kind of make the schedules a little bit problematic sometimes, but in other leagues they just call a draw if it's 15-15, and it makes things very difficult at the end of the season to kind of separate everyone. You know, there's going to be a lot of confusing outcomes at this point. Our system is, if you get the win in overtime, you get a certain amount of points, etc., so it kind of helps differentiate between the winners at the very end. Yeah, exactly.
So it's a good system.
So here we
Apart
go.
from my schedule, Henry, I've been up since 4 a.m. But this is a good game.
I had my flight this morning was at 8 a.m. So yeah,
we're both into this.
Yeah.
This is. It's going to be one
especially
of
when
those
you're on
nights.
my sort of body clock, and I go to bed at usually about 4 a.m. every day.
I've been on the very good.
You lie
schedule.
there, like you go to say, I'm going to go to bed at 1 a.m. You lie there for like 3 hours, listening to the podcast. You're like, oh, this is just me wrecked.
Here I am.
I've got a 10-hour broadcast tomorrow, and I can't sleep.
Oh, it's an endless show. But I've got to say, I'm really liking the game so far. It's actually been a very good game of CS.
Yeah,
We've seen
absolutely.
some really horrific matches. Like
That's why I said when Alex asked us earlier, I think this is always going to be a great
Yeah.
game. I think Space Soldiers can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the league right now. Great lineup, and you can see they've got the tactics, they've got the fragging capabilities. Antares, though, a lot of pressure towards him. This is it. Whoever's going to get match point first. Execution coming in towards A. Lots of damage with those grenades coming in. You can see they know
Molotov.
exactly where Zantares is. They flush him out of position. It works perfectly, and Calix left in a horrible spot now. Zipex drops in towards Shadow, takes him down. 5 versus 3 now. Paz surely can't do anything about this. M4's out. Going for the double kill. Works out, but still can't maintain the advantage. 3 versus 1 now. Major so far removed from the situation. He'll be in T-spawn. But Astralis won't be aware of that. They are going to bide their time slightly. Not just go for the full-on commitment with the plant. Glaive with the bomb. He won't be able to hear Major from that position, but they'll have an inkling as to where he is. Now maybe be playing themselves somewhat. They really didn't want to play and go for the plant. 30 seconds remaining. And what's the call? Are they waiting for the CTs to make the mistake? Like Major to second guess his position, but it's actually looking very good here, Lauren. As soon as they go for it, that's when he strikes now to 2 versus 1.
Oh, this could go so poorly. Again, it's on to Dupree to keep this safe. The bomb does go down. Major position noted, but he's trying to isolate these two players, but it's going to be so tricky. A step too far means it's a kill. The fake flash from the pistol. He's going to swing in again, trying to draw out the fire, but no one's biting just yet. Dupree just closing in, and Major still dancing, still trying, still toying with every option he has, but this is looking less and less likely. There it is. Magis takes the fight in the end, and a hard-fought 4-round from both sides. It was never a clean one either way.
No, Paz did everything he could there to get those 2 kills, but his Zipex dropping down towards Shadow after finding that opening kill. Nice work to get down the ladder, run and spray towards Calix, and it all works out very nicely indeed. There we go. Match point obtained by Astralis indeed. There will be FAMAS's, CZ's, M4 is going to take some round from Space Soldiers to even make this a possibility. Huge advantage for Astralis. Could have been anyone's map though, Lauren. It wasn't clear who was going to win, especially towards the latter stages. But good round there from Astralis. Very well maintained as well. Now 2 versus 1. You can see Major's boy wanted to peak. He wanted for so long, but they played the bomb. They made sure it was impossible. Instead of making mistakes and trying to challenge, given an opening, they made sure they played that correctly. Even if it wasn't the flashiest way to finish things off, it certainly worked out very well for them. And they've got themselves in a very advantageous position as we head into round number 30 here. All the rounds, and they're trying to bleed out the CTs of any grenades they've got. You can see him just trying to send a little bit of a fake here towards B. Glaive, you do not need to commit to this kill, but it works out. Fortune does favour the Brave, as Zipex will get the penultimate kill there. Just Engine remaining, and that's going to be it, Lauren. It will be 16-14 in favour of Astralis. Engine has got absolutely zero chance of winning this one, I'm afraid. Just padding stats at this point if he's going to get anything out of it. But well played to Astralis. Very tenacious team. He said they're grinders, and they managed to even come back from the 14-12 deficit and win the game.
Yeah, an excellent game from both sides, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. What a way to come back into the Pro League and get to see a very good matchup. I'm hoping that only echoes into the next game as well going forward, and these two teams are certainly providing tonight.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the analyst desk. Alex and his boys will be there to talk you through the game. We're back for map 2 very soon.